Hello, everybody. I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds for my end to load my StreamYard. Leo, why are you going through a hard time? Don't be in a bad mood today, sad mood today. Leah says going through a bit rough time today, but you guys cheer me up well. Hopefully you feel a little bit better while you are here. Hey, Brown Skin for Life. How are you doing? She says, hey. Did you guys have a good weekend? I hope you guys did. Hey, UFC Frog. I know, so sad. Definitely put up the prayer hands for him. Hey, Carly. I'm just waiting for some of my mods to pop in. Hopefully they know that I am live. Hey, True Crime with Eve. Definitely poor kid. And we got one of my favorite names back in the house, Budget Jones. I love that. How are you doing today? It is 81 degrees here in Arizona, and I'm not even kidding. It is hot already. Ashley says she's on her lunch break listening. Well, thank you for being here. And today's live stream, you guys, is not going to be a very lengthy live. I know I say that every time, and then we're like 3 hours in. But for sure, today won't be a long live. So I do appreciate you just giving me maybe an hour of your time. I have to take my daughter. We're going car shopping today. She's been using my car for school, and yeah, I'm left with no vehicle. Every day I'm stuck here. So we're going car shopping. So this isn't going to be a lengthy live, just so you guys know. Hey, Midwest, how are you doing? Hello. Leo says, I'll be a temp mod at CCC. I might have to take you up on that offer. You better be careful. Hey, Allison, good morning. We got Rhonda, small town. I like that small town PI. Hello, crime friends. Hello to you. Allison says, good afternoon. I forget you guys are always like 2 hours ahead of me. Hey, Jen. Jen, you can never change your photo, okay? I only know you, I know you with that photo and I love it. Yeah, I know, car shopping today, but I need a car. She goes to school and she uses it every day, and I'm left here with no car. I can't do anything. Hi, Donald. Mary T. Hello. Oh, MB, it's 6 p.m. there? Oh my God, you're at dinner time. Wow. It's barely 10 o'clock here. I'm barely having my cup of coffee. Well, thank you guys for the ones that are volunteering modding. Hey, Granny. Ronnie. Hey, Mal. You're out there in California. Is it hot still over there in California? What's going on over there? Allison, you've been with us for such a long time. I'm going to have to make you probably a mod in here, if that's okay with you. You've been with me since, I think, the Chris Watts days, no? Hi, Xiaobao. How are you doing? This case is definitely wild. So I'm going to just get started with the discussion today, you guys. So how it's going to work, I'm going to go over some of the updates with you guys. I did piece together a little timeline. You guys know I love a good timeline. So I did piece some together, and I did clip a little video for you guys with yesterday's developments. And then we'll go ahead and take a closer look at the property today and just have a little discussion with it. Today is going to be day 7 that this little boy, 20-month-old, has been missing. 7 days. 1 day is too long, I feel like, to have a 20-month-old missing. But today is going to be day 7. I can't believe this. And I'm so scared, you guys, that I keep thinking, like, please don't let this go cold. Please don't let this go cold. And I think I'm feeling like that because of the Summer Wiles case. I know with that case, I remember Valerie asking me early on, do you think this case is going to go cold? It was like, we had just started covering it. And I was like, no way. I was like, And with this one, I'm just like, please, 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 please let him be found. We're all hoping for the best. But, you know, we've covered these cases so many times statistically, you know, we know that, you know, 7 days, it's not looking good for the outcome, but we do hope for the best with this one. But I just pray that this case gets solved. Yeah, she did say that on the interview. She did say that she does lie a lot. The grandfather did say that she lies. She just lies all the time to them. Hey, cats meow. Good afternoon. Yeah, Allison, you have been here since the Watts days. In fact, give me a second, Allison. Let me do it now. Allison, have you seen any update for? Oh my gosh, oh my God, I'm just gonna bug me. Remember she was found not far from where she lived in the trailer park home, completely unclothed. I know you know what I'm talking about. There's been no update with that one, right? All right, Allison, you should be blue. I was looking for an update with that. Hey, Lauren. Yeah, I think they are doing a good job so far. I don't know what you guys think, but they are on top of it. No updates. Okay. I was just thinking about that case the other day. Oh, you have? Okay. Are they giving you a timeline with anything or no? Leo says she thinks that this case may be about the support money. The mom was ordered by court to pay the grandma child support. Motive. I don't think that would have been motive because she also had it was for both boys, not just Quentin. It would have been for both boys. She was ordered to pay support. So I think in theory wise with this case, I'm going towards two directions with it. And I told you guys that when we did our first live stream on this case on Sunday. I kind of feel, unfortunately, since we know drugs are at play with this case, you know, that if did he get into something that night and he passed and they covered it up, or we know since she has been ordered to pay child support, there was some incidents going on, and I go over all of that in the timeline. There was definitely a lot of tension in this house, you guys, a lot of tension. She was being evicted. Her mom wanted her out of there. So, I keep thinking about what the babysitter said in her interview, that when she, took Quentin back home on the 4th, he was crying. He wanted to stay with her. And, I can't help and wonder if he just kept crying, frustration. Did something happen to him? There's these allegations of abuse that the babysitter is saying, which I'm believing the babysitter on that, you guys, because I know it's considered, some people are like, it's hearsay, but she's saying she has documents, she has photos, she has text messages of her, telling grandma about it. And she says, I gave all of this to law enforcement. So it was really scary learning that she's seen baby Quinton with a belt mark on his neck. That was very alarming to me. And she said that was just recently. So, is he being abused in that home? By who? And did something happen that night? You hear a lot of times a child will be abused really bad, they're put to bed, and then they pass. And I'm kind of wondering if something like that happened. We also have to take into play this, 529 text message that goes out when the babysitter always has them. And then all of a sudden, the day he would go missing, they cancel the sitter. I don't know. I keep thinking about that too. Maybe he cried because his home was a horrible place. Well, it seems like he was always with the babysitter and grandma was always gone. And I'm not sure how much grandpa was gone, step grandpa, but we know grandma was definitely, she seemed to be gone a lot. And I been looking at grandma's Facebook, and she has so many photos of, I think she's locked her Facebook down. That's what I'm hearing today. But she had a lot of photos of her grandpa and the two boys, and, just playing around, watching TV. And when you look at mom's Facebook, um, Quentin's mom's Facebook, she doesn't really have that much up of, she has photos of the kids, but I don't know. compared to what I've seen the babysitter put up, which she removed everything, and then what grandma's put up is just not the same. But I don't know. I feel like he was just probably, he's little, he's 2 years old. You know what I mean? He was probably just used to being with the babysitter, and she seemed to love him a lot. So it's sad though. Yeah, MB, I agree with you. He says, respect to the babysitter for speaking up for this little boy. The only problem that a lot of us have with the babysitter is that, you know, she knew of abuse. And yes, she did go to grandma with it. But I kind of feel like once that didn't go anywhere, I think she should have, made the call to law enforcement. And I understand sometimes people don't want to get involved with all of that stuff. But then at the end of the day, there's a little 20-month-old, being possibly abused. Obviously, if you see a belt mark on the neck, that is so alarming to me and it's really upsetting. Hey, Brandy. She says, hey, everyone. Hello, beautiful CCC. I've missed you guys on live praying for this little precious one. Well, I'm glad you're catching it today. Yeah, I was looking a little bit at that A1 Way Street, check grandma criminal record. Uh, Ziggy had babysitter on panel. Yes. Yeah, she never bonded. The babysitter did say that she bonded the most with the older child, and she let everybody know that the older child was her favorite, which is horrible. And then you got to think about it. You have the little baby girl that she had with her current boyfriend, and then you have poor little Quentin in the middle, and you can't help but wonder if he just got the shorter end of the stick. And a lot of times when a child is being abused and there's multiple kids, unfortunately, it usually, you hear it's always one child that is getting the abuse. Budget Jones says, did no one find it odd that when boyfriend got up and was leaving for work, Quentin was in Playpen? If mother was asleep, who put him in there? Or is it like a crib? Thank you for asking that, because I'm wondering the same thing. Because my kids are way bigger now, they way bigger. But maybe you guys that have little ones or your memory is really good, you guys can, a playpen, isn't that what you put them in when they're just, they're playing? I know they fall asleep in there, but I never used that to have them sleep overnight, like as a crib or anything like that. I never used that for that purpose. If they fell asleep in there from like the day, and they were playing, then that's one thing. But to put them in there overnight, I never utilized that for that. But I'm wondering if that was used as his bed. And I did want to look at, in a little bit, I do want to go over, a closer look at the house. But I was wondering about that too. And another thing, you guys, we're going to have to schedule this week because I really want to listen to it with you guys. But, the babysitter's interview with Ziggy, she says on that interview that the mom, that when the boyfriend sends the text, well, hey, check this out though. It comes from the boyfriend's cell phone. That's a fact, right? That's data. But we really don't know who sent that. Was it the boyfriend that sent it? Was it, Leilani that sent it? We really don't know. We know it comes from his phone, but we're assuming it is him. But sends the text saying we're not going to, take the kids. And then she says in that interview, though, that Leilani was up with Quinton. So if she was up in the morning with him, then he fell back to sleep by the time 6 o'clock rolled around. Because remember, he's asleep. He's wearing his, Sesame Street shirt and some black pants. So wouldn't she be also one of the last people to have seen him in the morning? Why is it just being said that the boyfriend is? And another big thing that I've been trying to find it. I cannot find what time she literally woke up. What time did she wake up? Because from what the babysitter says, she would have been up at 5:30 with Quentin. Hey, Fairy. Don't worry about it. We're just starting. And I'm just kind of going over some of the comments with everybody. MB, so she did a very short clip with the news station. And then she did one on Ziggy's channel. You know Ziggy from Summer Wells. She did one on there. And then she also was doing live streams on her Facebook page. She had did a couple of live streams where she talked about what was going on. And then she did like a big live stream. It was like 24 minutes. And that's the one that she goes over everything. And she did that one after she had already did the Ziggy one. So she's done a couple, but now she removed all of that. She removed everything that had to do with Quinton on her Facebook, and she removed that live stream. So 9:33. Okay, so Allison says nine, and this is something I wish would be a follow-up with law enforcement during one of these pressers, is what time did mom wake up? What time did she wake up? Allison's 9 a.m., supposedly 9 a.m. A1 says 9:33. Well, 9:33 wouldn't make sense if she woke up. Or maybe, I don't know. But I'm hearing 9 a.m., but I'm just trying to see, did she say she woke up at 9 a.m.? But then that wouldn't make sense if she woke up at 9 a.m. because the babysitter gets a text at 9 a.m. from the boyfriend saying, has she seen Quentin? So how's he already back home at 9 if she woke up at 9? You see what I'm saying? So the timeline of their story, if that is true, that she's saying she woke up at 9, wouldn't make sense to me at all. Yeah, I can't believe that, Allison. I was so shocked to hear that. That babysitter showed up at 9:30 and told her to call law enforcement. And she was just sitting there smoking a cigarette. But definitely the timeline don't add up if she woke up at 9. Boyfriend was already home then. Yeah, I seen that in an article, and let me know if you guys have too. I've been trying to go back to the very first articles with this case, and there's a lot of different information that was put out in those first articles than now. In the first ones, it says grandma text at 9 a.m. Text the babysitter. Wasn't it text the babysitter asking if she's seen Quentin? But then that can't be true because the babysitter says that she's the one who actually called grandma after she got to the house, and grandma didn't even know about it. So there's a lot of different information that was put out early on with this case. And that's why I went live with you guys on Sunday, because I felt a little overwhelmed, like I said, with all the information. It was like, okay, what is facts? What is not? Why is this changing? Why is this being said? Who said this? It's like the beginning days, certain information was put out, and now we're learning different stuff. A1, you're asking a good question. So she says, what was the older son doing until 9 a.m.? Kids get up early. I don't know. Well, she also has a baby. So I mean, 4 months old. Again, at 4 months, I don't know. I don't remember me getting much sleep at 4 months. So I know I was up like every other hour feeding, or every 4 hours. What is it? Every 4 hours, every 3 hours. So mom had to be getting up. I'm assuming the newborn, I call her newborn, but 4 months, that's newborn still to me. But I take that would be still, I'm thinking she's doing bottle. Yeah, Leo, we have so many unanswered questions. Good question. That would be a good question to know, to get answered. Where was this playpen exactly? Is it downstairs? Is it in the mother's room? Is it in one of the kids' rooms? Where exactly is this playpen? I knew you would know this answer, Amber. Yes, every 2 to 3 hours to feed a 4-month-old. Yes, thank you. I was trying to rack my brain. I think it's about 2 to 3. I thought it was about 4 hours, 3 hours. Listening on your walk. Okay. Get your exercise in. Is it a beautiful day out there today? And I'm going to highlight your comment because, Shay, I'm going to agree with you on this one. And I know I'm going to get some backlash with it, but this is my opinion. She says projection and the blame game gets played when some people have a guilty conscience. Not saying grandma is directly involved, but she didn't do much to protect those kids. It seems like, based off what the babysitter is saying, she clearly wasn't, she clearly knew of this abuse, and she gave her daughter the benefit of the doubt, which is really upsetting because if you think about it, you guys, what's going to happen now, because grandma had custody of Quentin and the other and the 4-year-old. She was responsible for their well-being. Now, even though grandma was gone, think about it. She got custody of the boys from her daughter. Okay, so she's responsible for them. She leaves them then with mom. How's that going to play out? I seen that too. I don't know if she really is going to do that or if she was just angry during that live stream. I kind of feel like she was just angry, to be honest with you. A1 says, babysitter said she was pressing charges because grandma smacked her daughter's hand trying to get her phone. Babysitter's daughter was videoing it. Yeah, I seen that. I have a feeling she's not. I kind of feel like she was just really upset right then and there. Hey, Scott. Yeah, she got, and no one knows right now why she got custody. We can speculate for days. No one really knows why. No one has found that out, but she was responsible for them. So I do wonder how this is going to play out with that. I know. And the babysitter said that grandma told her if she can keep the kids, when she learned about some of the abuse and what was going on, and then 3 hours later she texts her back and says, you know what, she's going to give her daughter a chance, and that she had lost her kids when she was younger, and she doesn't want her daughter to go through that, and she's going to just trust her daughter and give her the benefit of the doubt, pretty much is what I took that as. And I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, these are little kids. We're supposed to be their voices. We're supposed to protect them from anybody and everybody. Let me tell you, if I ever found out that anyone was hurting my kids, I don't care who you are. If you were my boyfriend, if you were the father, I wouldn't put up with that shit. We're here to protect them, to guide them. You know what I mean? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna get started with this live stream. So I clipped together a video. It's a short little video for you guys, and it's just going to go over the developments from yesterday. And let me take that off the screen. And then we will get into it. So let me see. All right, so we are nearly, you guys, we are at a week now today. Today is day 7 that this 20-month-old has been missing, Quinton Simon. Now, he disappeared from his home in Savannah, Georgia. Now, in this time, multiple law enforcement agencies as well as neighbors have searched the area hoping for any signs of the toddler. Now, on Monday, Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley said the 911 call placed by Quentin's mom would not be publicly released because they do not want it to hurt the ongoing investigation, which I can understand and I totally respect that. I do want the 911 call more than anything, but I do understand, and it's kind of interesting that they are keeping it close to the vest and they're not releasing it, because it kind of tells me maybe, I'm speculating, maybe they are, trying to look and build a case right now. I know it's still very early on to say that, but I always say, and this is something that we've heard law enforcement say multiple times, it's not what we know, it's what we can prove. So I don't know. Are you guys a little bummed out we won't be getting that 911 call? I know I am. Now, we know that on Now we have the 911 dispatch call, and I have that up on the channel if you guys haven't listened to it. But on that call, it does say the complainant, who would be, again, Quentin's mom, Leilani, she advised her 1-year-old son is missing. The dispatcher is heard saying she woke up, her door was open, advised he's unable to open a door, thinks someone came in and took him. And I think that's very interesting what her first response is. She woke up, her door was open, advised he's unable to open the door, and thinks someone came in and took him. And I say that's interesting because if you believe your child has been kidnapped, how come we haven't heard any neighbors, not one neighbor, come out saying, I heard her screaming. She was screaming for him outside. She came to my door. We haven't heard her going to any door when this immediately happens, seeing if her son was outside, going to neighbors, asking for help. No one said they heard the boyfriend screaming. No one said the boyfriend was going door to door. So it's just interesting. You wake up, your child is missing, but yet you don't, and the door's open, and you don't go outside like a mad woman trying to find him. Makes no sense to me. Also, why don't we have a plea from them? You believe your child's been kidnapped. Why aren't you on every fucking station pleading for your son's return? Makes no sense to me. I will never understand that. I don't care if law enforcement told them not to do it. I highly doubt that. But I will never understand, if your child is missing, why aren't you out there with flyers in hand, going everywhere you possibly can go, every station, every YouTube channel? I don't care. You just putting his face out there. I don't understand that. And it kind of reminds me of the Summer Wiles case, how, you know, with Candace, real quick, it was like, where's her plea? Why don't we see her going everywhere with flyers? I think we've seen one photo of her going out with a flyer, and I feel like that photo was just that, for her to get out. But I will never understand that shit. And thank you, Debs. If the BF left for work and something happened to Quentin the night before or before he went to work, he could have taken baby Q and left him anywhere on the route too. He can and get call text from GF. And you make a very good point, and thank you for your super sticker with that. You know, that's one thing I said. If something, which I do believe something happened to him, this is my opinion, that night or early morning hours, I feel like, I think something happened more towards the night. And I think a plan came put together. And that's why the babysitter was canceled in the morning, because they knew the babysitters will probably come over, because she even said that herself. She would have went over there. So cancel the babysitter out, and him leaving at 6, it just makes me feel like, did he then remove the baby from the home and put him somewhere? And this is something I said from day one, before I even really knew of, like really looked into the case. I said, just knowing he left, knowing they canceled the babysitter at 5:29, and then at 6 he's out of the home going to work, the first thing I thought was, follow his route to work. How far is it from where they live to where he works? What's the distance? What's the route? Get those pings from him. Was he late to work? Does he clock in? Did anyone see him at work? That's another thing. What does the boyfriend do for work? I can't seem to find that out. I know he's like, from his Facebook, it looks like, I don't know. I don't know if he makes music or messes around with people who makes music or something like that. I don't know. But what does he do for work? Hey, sugar. I think that would be very telling. Cher Bear says, I think he was overdosed of sleeping aid. No, so it has been confirmed he showed up at work that morning. So this is what I'm seeing, miscommunication being put out too, Budget Jones. So I'm seeing some people say law enforcement confirmed the boyfriend went to work, and I think people are mixing that information up. Law enforcement confirmed that the bio dad was at work. Okay, so bio dad has been cleared. He is not being looked at as a suspect, and his alibi of him being at work and he works like nowhere near where they live, that's been confirmed. I have not seen boyfriend has been confirmed at work during this time. I have not seen that. And then he goes to work at 6 a.m., but yet you're back at the house at 9 a.m. and she wakes up at 9 a.m. That makes no sense. Callie says, Bio Dad lives out of state. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Thank you. I just know that he was nowhere near and he stated he didn't have this and have the son. And law enforcement confirmed that. Okay, let me play this for you. All right, now on the screen, what you guys are looking at is going to be from today. Law enforcement, they did put out a statement. Now we know yesterday, and in the video you're going to watch, they did a lot of activity yesterday. Back at the house, they had a second search going on back at the house. And today they released a statement that they said, we've seized evidence that we believe will help move this case forward, and we're now working to analyze the evidence to see where it leads us. We continue to pursue all avenues to bring Quentin home, following all leads and evidence. There will be no further public statements today. So I think that's very interesting, them releasing this statement today, since yesterday we know they were back at the house, you know, draining the pool, putting up the black, it looked like a black, I don't know, looked like a trash bag over the window. People are wondering if it's because, you know, if they were searching to see if any blood in the home. So it's very interesting that this is the statement they released today. What do you guys think about that? I personally think when I heard they were draining the pool, we already knew they had divers in the pool early. That was the first thing they were doing, right? We already knew that. And so I knew he wouldn't have been in there, but then I was like, what if someone put him in there after the fact? But then I was thinking, you know what, they're draining it. I'm wondering if they're looking for evidence. And the pool is murky, so you know, it's like all green and stuff. This morning the grandma did put out a post on her Facebook, and it has a lot of people really upset over it. I want to know what you guys think. It says it says do I have any friends that could help me fix the pool or that can guide me on doing the work myself? And this has pissed off a lot of people. They're like, why are you worried about your pool when obviously you weren't taking care of it before? It was all murky and dirty and stuff. And, you know, now you're worried about it right now when you have your missing grandbaby. Like, why is that even a thought in your head? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but that has a lot of people really pissed off right now. Okay, let me play this. And this is just a short little clip video that I made, and it's just going to go over yesterday's developments.
40 FBI investigators are assisting with the investigation. On Monday, multiple investigators researched the Buckhalter Road home by Quinton's grandparents, Billy Joe and Thomas Howe, where Quinton was reported missing by his mother, Leilani Simmons, around 9:40 a.m. Wednesday morning. Multiple FBI agents were observed taping dark plastic to the windows. We're trying to redouble our efforts and scrub the area to make sure that we didn't miss anything, the chief said. We don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolutely, Chief Hadley said Monday afternoon, but it is fair to say that our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI providing an abundance of resources to us that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well. Now, the chief said everybody is being looked at and being interviewed, though he later noted that Quentin's biological father is not being investigated.
Okay, so that was some of the developments from yesterday. I kind of want to go back and just watch it with no sound so we can kind of go over it. So let me play this for you guys. And then let me see some of your comments really quick. There was a comment I seen. I think it was by MB. Where are you, MB? Hey, Ronnie, Bushi, everybody coming in. Hello. Thank you guys for being here. We're talking about 20-month-old Quinton Simon missing from Savannah, Georgia. Let me know your thoughts on the case. What are you thinking? Okay, here it is. I want to see this one. Only thing about the pool, the FD were used to empty the contents, so that would remove any biomatter. Yeah, Vicky, Grandma did say that. And that's why I'm saying, let me know what you guys think. I know people are talking about it right now on Facebook, and people are extremely, really, really upset over that. And this is just so sad. And all of the children that go missing, I know, that have not been found. Michael Vaughn is still missing. Summer Wiles is still missing. I can't believe Summer Wiles is still missing. I feel like I can't with that one. And we don't know how old the boyfriend is. We know that the mom, Leilani, is 22. He doesn't look that much older to me either. I also want to know, was Bio Dad involved in Quentin's life at all? And then I know a lot of people are trying to find out who, and they're already putting out who it is. The other uncle that was in the home. So like I told you guys on Sunday from Grandma's Facebook, she has 2 kids. One of them is in prison for, taking someone's life from a robbery. He ended up shooting the person, so he's gone. Then there's another son that she posts about on her Facebook, Paul. And from the post she put up, I think he's like 21 or 22 years old. And then we know that grandfather, he stated in the interview he did, who was at the home the night that Quinton would go missing, he says himself it was, Leilani, the mom, obviously, boyfriend, the 3 kids, and the uncle. Grandpa and grandma were not there. Thank you for sharing that, Scott. I appreciate that. Seems pool was emptied once car team deployed on scene. Yeah, because at first I was thinking, MB, why didn't they do that early on? Because we know the divers were in there early on. And I did wonder, why barely, drain it now? Hey, Melmac, I don't think I said hi to you. Hey, Dukes. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we know yesterday investigators from the FBI, they taped dark plastic over the windows on the Buckhalter Road home where Quentin Simon was last seen on the morning of October 5th. So you can clearly see them taping it all up here. And I was thinking possibly because they were probably trying to see if they can see any blood inside. That was what I was thinking. Let me know what you guys think. They had over 40 FBI agents, you guys. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm gonna call you Mama. Oki 420 Mama says she does not know who. Oh, really? Where did you get that at? She says that Leilani says that she does not know who Quentin's bio dad is. No, that wouldn't make sense though, because where did you get that information? Because she told Grandpa that, and Grandpa said this, and I believe Grandpa, he says that he was told that by Leilani that bio dad picked him up. That's one of the biggest red flags for me. And I'm trusting Grandpa. I don't think he'd lie about that. I don't know, Dukes. I'm assuming, well, this would be bottom room. I mean, bottom room. This would be downstairs. Not sure exactly where. I was thinking luminol, though. That's probably why they were blacking out the windows, is what I was thinking. Hey, Kez Chick 56, how are you doing? And I just think it's interesting knowing they did this. They drained the pool, and they were back searching everything for the home yesterday a second time. And then we got that statement by the chief today saying they have gathered evidence, seized evidence. A lot of people are saying that A1. Also yesterday, we know that they were back at the home where Quinton Semin was last seen. You can hear the sound of pumping running. It is clear they are draining the family's backyard pool. There was at least 11 police cars there at that time. You just had a conversation with Jagger. How did that go? And then, of course, this is where they are draining the pool. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought too, Dukes. I mean, it has to be. What other reason would they be doing that? Nothing else makes sense to me, at least. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas why they'd be blacking out the windows. Then apparently the other pump wasn't flowing fast enough. A fire engine is here now, sucking the water out of the pool and flowing it out the master stream. And you guys, if you have Twitter, I would highly recommend following Brett Buffington. He is on top of it. He has been there day and night. He is the face that I've been seeing for sure with this case. And he keeps us updated every other hour. I feel like he's giving us something. And this is where they're right there with the pool. I seen a comment. Hold on. Where did it go? I saw when Bubba's girlfriend said he is the bio dad of Quentin. Bushi, you always get me with your Bubba's. Who's Bubba's? am I not reading that right? And again, this is just going over how 40 FBI agents were there. And I know in an article I read early on, the chief said the 911 call was placed at 9:39 a.m. But I am seeing that everybody that is requesting the 911 call, all reporters that I keep seeing requesting it, every single one of them are saying 9:42 that call got made. Every single one of those articles are saying 9:42. So, I'm going with 9:42 that call was made. Yeah, the grandfather did say that the daughter does lie a lot. And the mom knows that. Grandma knows that. She's been dealing with her daughter her whole life. You know what I mean? She knows, and that's very telling when you watch the grandparents' interviews. It's very telling what they say. You don't normally see that with these cases. You know what I mean? Usually you hear, oh, they're a great mother, they're a great father, they would never do anything like that. With this one, it was the complete opposite. I was a little shocked by what they were saying. I was like, wow. Yeah, no. Okay, so Does GF mean good friend? No, GF would mean girlfriend. LE would mean law enforcement. Who's Bubba's though, or Booba's girlfriend? Who is that? Bushi. Yes, you're correct. It was. And she was going to start having to pay child support on the 1st. Yes, for both boys. Both boys. Thank you, Midwest, for that. Nanny said, who needs subs? Scott needs subs to his channel if you want to subscribe to his channel. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see what she means by booba or bubba, whatever. Bushi always gets me with her comments, always. Yes, I did hear that. And on the dispatch call, he is referred to as Hawaiian. I heard baby Q was Hawaiian. Is mom or dad Hawaiian? I can see mom looking a little bit of like she has a little bit of Hawaiian in her. But I did hear that on the 911 dispatch call. She does say mom says he's Hawaiian. Okay, thank you, Bushi. You have to get us the name. You can't say that. You're leaving us all confused. Oh, thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate you. He is precious. Is Leilani a Hawaiian name? I didn't know that. Okay, and then right here on the screen, as you can see, they are now looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it. And that is something new. And then I thought that was interesting. And then again, I want to point out that the chief does say everybody is being looked at and being interviewed, though he later noted that Quentin's bio father is not being investigated. So he is the only person that law enforcement has stated is not a suspect. He's not a suspect. He has nothing to do with this disappearance of his son, nothing like that. So he's the only person who obviously has shown proof of him being at work and not even near where Quinton would be. So he is the only person right now that has been cleared and not being looked at. So I'm not sure why I think people are getting confused right here because I keep seeing people say boyfriend has been cleared. He was at work. And I'm like, okay, where do you see that? I don't see that anywhere. Bio dad has been cleared because he was at work nowhere nearby. So I don't know if people are confusing the two. But let's just make sure we're putting out the accurate information. Okay. So wait, Leilani and then Leilani. My boyfriend's sister is Leilani. Or her daughter, Leilani. Yeah, I think so too, Midwest. I think people are getting confused with it. Like I tell you guys, this case, there was a lot of, if you go back and look at the first articles, all that information is so different than now. In the first articles, it was at 9 a.m. Babysitter got a text from grandma asking if she's seen Quentin. It was it was saying that mom sent a text message to the babysitter. There was so much different information in the beginning. I was like, okay, what is fact? What is not? It was such a big headache at first. But I'm glad I went live Sunday so we were able to talk it out together. Yeah. So he's Teresa says, I found out where the uncle was. Uncle is in prison for so she has two boys though. So grandma has two boys, it looks like from her Facebook. So one uncle, yes, he's in prison. He did the crime. I think he was like 19. I believe it was in 2011 that this happened. So he's gone. But she also has another son, Paul, I believe his name is. Yeah. With this case, Midwest, I'm not even kidding you. I really felt that this case, I started looking at it really he went missing on the 5th. The 5th for us here at the channel, we were covering the Merced kidnapping, the family of 4, we were covering that. And on that day, on the 5th, they were actually found. Their bodies were found, including 8-month-old little baby girl. So we were covering that on the 5th. But I started looking at this case, like looking at it, I believe that Friday and Saturday, and I was like so overwhelmed. I felt like this case had been going on for months and months and months and months and months with all the different information that was going around. I was like, what is going on here? So we all know it was biodad cleared, not being looked at. And this is what I want to ask you guys. I need to look this up, so I need to do a follow-up on this. So it looks like the family has another home. It says, among the places we know police have searched with warrants, the house where Quentin was last seen, another home the family owns in the neighborhood with a dive team, the family's backyard pool. It was green. Police this weekend said their search efforts would be more targeted. So the house where Quentin was last seen, we already know that. And then another home the family owns in the neighborhood. And you can't probably see it on the screen, but there's a little ping here and a ping here. This right here where I'm circling, let me take that off, where I'm circling. So we know this right here is going to be where Quentin lives. And then over here, I'm assuming he has it like this because this is where the other house is they own. I don't know. I got to look to see where that is. Does anybody know that exact location? The other home the family owns? Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're here too. So that's something I do want to look into, is where exactly this home is. But it looks like they're searching that home too. And then, of course, we know that all the media requests for the 911 call has been denied because this is an ongoing investigation and they don't want to have that out and have it hinder the investigation, which I totally understand. I get that. I respect that. I just wish we had it. All right, we're going to now listen to the presser. It is not a long one. It is, I think, like less than 10 minutes. So we'll
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. You guys ready? As we continue our search for Quinton Simon, I want to update you on our aggressive efforts to find him. I want to assure everyone that we are continuing to use every investigative resource available for us to locate little Quinton. We have conducted multiple interviews, executed multiple search warrants, and we've canvassed numerous specific geographic areas. The day Quinton was reported missing, we requested the assistance of the FBI. They responded immediately and have been on the scene with our officers since that time. Today, there are more than 40 FBI agents and personnel on the ground in Chatham County working with our department to find Quinton. This includes all agents assigned to the Savannah and Brunswick resident agencies and professional staff, agents from other FBI offices, including members of the Child Abduction and Rapid Deployment Unit, and other subject matter experts. Working They have been continuously working with Chatham County Police Department for the last 5 days. We believe with the continued assistance of the FBI, we will have a resolution to this case. We understand that people far beyond Chatham County have become emotionally invested in this incident and the search for Quentin, and they want answers. We are committed to finding those answers, and we are committed to finding Quentin. With that said, I'll be happy to answer a few questions if you have.
This has been going on for about 5 days now, and I think everybody is kind of moving towards worst case scenarios. At what point, do you say that there's some criminal aspect to what's going on?
Yes, and that's a very good and that's a very fair question. We're looking at it from multiple fronts, and one of it being a criminal investigation, as well as a missing child at this point. We don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolutely. But it is fair to say that our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI and them providing an abundance of resources to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well.
Chief, how are you looking at the criminal investigation? Like, what people are you looking into? Is it turning towards family members or?
Everybody is being looked at. Everybody is being interviewed. Everybody that had contact with Quinton in the most recent time of his disappearance is being looked at, is being interviewed. And that's an enormous amount of work, obviously, that takes. And we are continuing to do everything that we can do to gather evidence if it's there. We have to follow, obviously, an investigative process. We have to follow the law. We have to get search warrants. I know there's a lot of interest out there and probably some chatter of why haven't you done this and why haven't you done that? Well, we have a constitution to follow. We have the law to follow, because we want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we do this as professionally and as expertly as we can. So if, and I say if, we have to prosecute anyone in this case, that we've done it right. That we don't lose evidence in an evidentiary hearing or anything like that. So we continue to work diligently, but we're going to work within the framework that we have to work in.
What are the updates in the areas being searched? Where is it gone from? Where are you searching now?
Well, we went back today and researched the home in which he was last at. Trying to redouble our efforts and to kind of scrub, no pun intended, with scrub the area and make sure that we didn't miss anything.
You saw FBI agents outside the home. What was the purpose of them being there?
They're there to help us. It's a Chatham County Police Department investigation. They are here in a support role, and I can't thank them enough. You don't bring 40 people and some from all over the country without an enormous amount of effort and expense. Those agents left their homes and left their families to come here and help Chatham County look for little Quentin, and I can't be any more appreciative of that.
Chief, we filed open records request for the 911 call. For the body camera video for that initial response, it was denied today, and originally they said it was because this was a criminal investigation. The county attorney kind of backtracked and then gave us the law that you usually use in a criminal investigation. Why don't you want that out there? Why don't you want the public to hear this mother call 911?
We have to protect the integrity of the investigation, and that's first and foremost. I certainly understand people's interest in this case, your interest in this case, and I can appreciate that. But my responsibility and our responsibility is to do a professional investigation, that we don't do anything that impedes that we don't do anything that tarnishes the integrity of the investigation. And that's my sole responsibility for that.
Have any of the family members, are they still being cooperative, especially this mother? And have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that question.
Okay, I'm going to rewind that because that is what I did want to talk to you guys about. And you guys know I always end up rewinding a little too much. So hopefully I don't. But he is asked if, mom and boyfriend, so are the family, are they still cooperating with law enforcement? Have they lawyered up or anything like that? And he says he cannot answer that. I thought that was really interesting because usually you hear when law enforcement is asked this, and this is something that law enforcement is always asked with the cases, are families still cooperating? And normally they'll be like, yes, family is still cooperating. They're cooperating with us, X, Y, and Z. But this one was, he couldn't answer. So does that mean they're not? I took it as maybe they're probably not no more. And I'm not saying grandma or any of that, but I'm saying the daughter and boyfriend. And now that I just think about it, grandma made a post. Let me read this to you. I'm wondering if this post, hold on, and I'll share this after. So it would have been, so she made this post today. And I think it's interesting now because hearing him say this, how he can't answer if they're still cooperating. Grandma says, every morning I wake up, and this was today. She says, every morning I wake up hoping this is all a bad dream, only to wake and start the nightmare all over again. I wish I had answers. I wish there were leads or something. All I can say, they've searched my home again and drained our pool. I would let them do this over and over. All I need is Quinton. Quentin, I know you're still out there, baby. Nana is praying hard and fully cooperating with the FBI. My sweet little boy, please, please come home to me. And I just think it's interesting how she has to put in there that she is fully cooperating with FBI. And I wonder if that came out because of this, because a lot of people are talking about this today, how, the chief is saying he can't answer if the family's still cooperating. But I think he's referring more towards the mom and boyfriend. Let's hear that again real quick. Let me know what you guys think.
That tarnishes the integrity of the investigation, and that's my sole responsibility for that.
Have any of the family members, are they still being cooperative, especially this mother, and have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that question.
Chief, where are Leilani and Daniel right now? They are the parents and the boyfriend of this young boy, but we haven't seen them pleading to the public for help.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they right now?
I don't know where they are currently at this time. I do believe they've been staying at the residence, but I don't physically right now, as I'm talking to you, I don't know where they're
Do you know why it is that we have not seen them? They're not talking to us. They're not pleading to get their child back.
I don't have an answer for that.
And whoever that reporter is, spot on for asking those questions. Because why aren't we seeing a plea? From the 911 dispatch call, you guys, you got to think about it. She says the door was left open. She woke up, the door's left open. Her son cannot open the door. She believes somebody came in and took him. So why aren't we seeing the pleas from them? Why aren't they crying? Why aren't they out there screaming on every news station and every YouTube channel trying to spread awareness? Why aren't we seeing and hearing that they're passing flyers out? Are there even passing out flyers over there, you guys? I'm thinking about that right now. I'm being serious. Is anybody passing out flyers for him with that family? Does anybody know that answer? I'm going to be really upset if they're not even going out passing out flyers. You think that someone came in and took him. That's the story you're going with. But yet you're not doing anything to get him back. And look at his face right there. That says it all. His face right there just says it all to me. So referring to Amber asking earlier about if the windows, have they talked about the windows or their screens? And she says she's just wondering if, being neglected and climbed near an open window, he fell, they're hiding it, just wondering about windows. Do we know when they covered pool? So I don't know if they have a pool cover. I'm going to say no, based off of the pool being murky. Usually if you have a cover on the pool, it ain't going to get like that. So I don't think they have a pool cover. Now they do have, like, Amber, help me with this. What's it called since you have a little one? You know those little gates you put up so your kid can't get past that area? I don't know what those are called, but they do have one set up, and I have a photo of it and I'll show it to you guys in a bit. They do have one that is in the back area. Now, where that is, though, there is a sliding door. It looks like a sliding door to me. So could he have gotten out through there and got in the water? There is no gate that I see going around the pool. But again, I don't know if I just haven't found all the photos for it. Hey, Valerie. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Julius has been found where? Okay. I see what you're saying, Dukes. Has she been found alive or not alive? Because I don't want to be distracted and not talk about, oh no, she was found not alive. Okay. I will have to look at that afterwards, you guys. But thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna have to look at that after. Dukes, do you want to check out that news station? What are they saying? Okay, Boo, let me know. Oh, looks like Boo's on it. She's gonna come back and let us know. Well, if it's murky, the water, definitely it's not covered. Okay, so is that okay? And they were also out there searching yesterday, so that would make sense that that would be their second location. Thank you, MB.
There's an increase of activity in the area this morning. We saw Chatham County Fire, FBI at the house, a couple of looks like unmarked police vehicles. Is there a reason for increased activity today after kind of a drop off, at least at the house over the weekend?
As I just stated earlier, we were searching that residence again this morning.
I have a quick question for you, Chief. In this point in
And
the
then she has a
investigation, I know you can't speak specifically, but in cases like this, so you exhaust your first search, and now you're back into researching some of those, you said targeted areas over the weekend. What happens next if no one's giving you tips, if there's no piece of evidence that changes this case? How long do you exhaust this, and then what do your investigators do after today?
Well, after today, I mean, I anticipate us working at least throughout the week. So at some point, if I'm following your train of logic, that we may have to sit down and reevaluate where we're at if we've exhausted everything that we think that we can do. If we ask ourselves that question and we think there's nothing else for us to do at this moment, then we got to sit down and reevaluate. But we're a long ways away from that.
I just want to start up the process of the investigation now going on to Monday. Do you feel like you all have gotten further along in the process of some sort of conclusion?
I do.
Do you have, what makes you believe that, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't get any specifics of the case.
How you guys doing? I mean, this has got to be exhausting. You can tell that you look tired. I mean, how are you investigators doing? This is a tough case.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. I appreciate that. They're tired, but they're determined, and I couldn't be any prouder of them. They have worked 18-hour days since last Wednesday morning, along with the FBI and everybody else. I mean, they are all hands on deck. They are committed. They are working hard to try to bring a resolution to this case and find little Quentin. So, but thank you for asking.
And
I appreciate it.
Springboard off of that, that sounds like you're standing out here saying that you guys will find out.
I believe we will. I do.
Chief, you set up a tip, or your department set up a tip number over the weekend. Have y'all received any tips from it so far?
I believe we've received some, but we have to verify those, whether or not they're accurate, whether or not we can, follow up on any of that information. I don't have anything of substance. So I got one more question from you. No.
Yeah, actually took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for asking about our detectives. And I promise when we get something to report, we'll report it back.
Okay, so like I told you guys, that was like a really quick little presser they gave us. And the key things I thought were interesting is obviously going to be, they make it known once again that bio dad is not a suspect. Also, is the family still cooperating? He will not answer. And they made it, meaning mom and the boyfriend. Now, as far as it's okay, Roman. He says he was working out. Well, get your workout in. What were you training? All right, let's take a closer look at the house really quick. So let me take that off the screen. And again, thank you guys all for being here with me today. Let's go over, I think I have a photo. I want to go over real quick with the timeline with you guys. It's not, let me just share my screen. Let's see. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. All right. You guys know me and my timelines, they're not the best, but it's all right. All right, so. All right, so again, we know that on September 7th, police showed up to the home for a fight between grandma and daughter. Now, Leilani placed the call stating she was placed the call. Now, when they get there, she says that she was on probation. No one knows what she's on probation for. So I'm still trying to dig and see why she's on probation. And I can't help and wonder if that has anything to do why grandma got custody of the kids. But again, I'm still digging to see why exactly she was on probation. She states that to officers, and she says that she didn't want any trouble. So that was on September 7th. Now on September 8th, so the very next day, grandma files for an eviction on her daughter, the boyfriend, and the 3 kids. Now I'm going to read the incident report for September 7th when law enforcement comes up after this. Now, October 4th, the babysitter drops off Quentin to his home with his mom, 22-year-old Leilani Simon. Now, she says it was somewhere between 4:30 and 5 p.m. that she dropped off baby Q, and he was crying. He did not want to stay, which is just so heartbreaking to hear. He did not want to stay. Okay, you guys, I understand that Jalissa's presser is going on right now, you guys, but right now we're talking about baby Q, and he is missing, and I want to give him my attention. So I will look at that afterwards, you guys, and then maybe tomorrow we can go and talk about it. But today I kind of want to just focus on this right now. So give me some time, and after I will look at that one, you guys, I promise, and we'll cover it. All right, so October 5th, the babysitter received a text message from Leilani's boyfriend, Danny's cell phone saying the kids aren't coming over today, that Leilani is with them. Now, she says that, and that is at 5:29 a.m. on October 5th. Now, she says that on her Facebook Live, but when you listen to the interview she did with Ziggy, she says that Leilani was up with Quinton. And that was something that stuck out to her because she says she's never up in the morning with him. So she says that on Ziggy's Live, you guys, that she was up, which makes me kind of questioning the timeline because I'm like, okay, if you're up at 5:29 in the morning, that's not a red flag for me, but it is for the babysitter because she says she's never up with them. But then at 6 a.m., you have the boyfriend leaving to work. We're being told that he's the one who last seen Quentin. But if Leilani was up with her son at 5:30, wouldn't she be one of the last ones to have seen him too? So that's why I'm also questioning, was she really up with him? What's the story really behind it all? Now, 6 a.m., we know that Quentin is seen sleeping in Playpen by mom's boyfriend prior to him leaving to work. And of course, that's the boyfriend, Danny. He sees him sleeping. He's wearing a Sesame Street shirt and some black pants, he says. Again, someone had asked earlier a really good question. Was that a really good question was, where is this playpen actually located? Is it in the room with mom? Is it in a room with with the brother, with his brother? Where is this playpen actually at? Now, 8:20 a.m., babysitter says that she sees Leilani's boyfriend, Danny. his car is driving around very slow. So I thought that was interesting. She says that she's assuming it's him because it's his car, but she sees his car driving down the street at 8:20 a.m. very slow. Remember, she says in her interview, well, not her interview, but her Facebook thing, that she was outside from, I believe she said 7, like her family was outside from, let me see, I think it was 7:30 to 8:30. They were outside. So she says that she's seen him driving, well, she sees his car driving down the street very slow. Missy, I'm trying to find that still out. Does BF have a history? I'm trying to look up his record to see. So far, I'm not finding anything as of yet. Still digging on that one. Now, 9 a.m., babysitter received a text from Danny's cell phone asking if she's seen Quinton. She called Danny. He told her Quinton was missing. Now, the babysitter, she drives to the house and they tell her that they already looked for him and didn't need her help. And something else I want to make sure I say is that she says that they did not want her to go inside of the house. So someone's calling me, sorry, that she is wanting to help look, but that they did not want her to go in the house. And it kind of made me wonder, why don't they want her in the house? And she even says, like, you know, they trust me, like I've cleaned the house before, but they did not want her to go in the house. So I thought that was kind of interesting right there. So she goes over there at 9 a.m. They tell her they already searched and that they didn't need her help. Now at 9:42 a.m., and I put 9:42 because, like I said before, I know the chief early on stated that it was at 9:39, but every in multiple news outlets that are requesting this 911, they're all saying the same time, 9:42 a.m. this call came in. So babysitter told Leilani to call 911. She says that she told her to call 911. And this is when the 911 call gets placed for 20-month-old Quinton Simon. Now, keep in mind, she gets there at 9. They're saying they already searched for them. Mom's smoking a cigarette and just on the porch, and she hadn't even called 911 yet. Babysitter said, I told her to call 911, and that's when she called 911. And then we know law enforcement arrives. She then calls grandma and tells grandma about it. So I'm left with, what time did mom actually wake up that day? And it seems like people are saying 9 a.m. she woke up. I leave you guys with, she wakes up at 9 a.m. Then how is it that boyfriend's already back at the house at 9 a.m.? And something else, 8:20 a.m., the babysitter says that she sees Danny's car driving down the street really slow. That's at 8:20. So the timeline definitely doesn't make sense. And I understand, you guys. I understand that the presser is starting with Jalissa, you guys, but we are here talking about Quentin's case. So I am aware of it. Thank you guys. But I'm not going to play it right now because we're talking about Quinton and I want to give him my attention. And so after I get off this live stream, I will watch it, and then either tomorrow I can go live with it, or I would just make a video or share it with you guys. But right now, the ones that want to stay with me with this case, I do appreciate. The ones that want to go watch about Jalissa, I totally understand. But I'm going to stay focused right now with this one. Missy, I don't know. I don't know. Why is he home? He left to work at 6 a.m., right? He leaves to work. She wakes up at 9 and he's already back in the house. He's already back in the area by 8:20. So why is he back? If 8:20 isn't the mom still sleeping at this time? It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. So the timeline don't add up, and I'm sure law enforcement is looking at all of this. Thank you, Melmac. I appreciate that. Yes, please. So 8:20, he is back there for some reason. And that's why I think the 6 a.m., you guys, honestly, if something happened to Quentin, him leaving at 6 a.m., I would be, did he take Quentin somewhere and place him somewhere during this time? Now, 6 a.m., he's gone. By 8:20, he's back there. Is he just driving around, slowly to make it seem like he's looking for Quentin? You know what I mean? Kind of like with the California boys, kind of Cal City boys, kind of like that. It reminds me of that case. Again, if he was looking for him, why wasn't he shouting his name? Why was he just driving slowly? If you're looking for a 20-month-old, are you going to be driving around not calling the name out? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It makes me really think of the Cal City boys and how it was just staged to look like they were looking, but in reality they weren't. It was kind of covering their own ass and giving an alibi almost. Thank you, Missy. And thank you, Brenda. So based on Missy, the dispatch call, it would be mom who discovered him missing, is what's being said. Because boyfriend goes to work, he leaves, and the story is that Quentin is asleep, he's fine. Then mom wakes up and she sees the door open, and she then says that he can't open a door. So she says, I believe someone came in here and took him. So she's the one who found out. But her story, it doesn't make sense, because why is boyfriend seen at 8:20 driving around the street really slow at 8:20? If you think about the whole timeline, you guys, it looks like just a cover-up alibi. Look at this. Did something happen to Quentin at night? Because let's say something, we're going to theorize right now. Let's say something happens to him, whether it's, he got into drugs, or he sadly was beaten, and they wake up and they realize, or they discover that he is no longer alive. They come up with a plan. They know they have to get the babysitter out of there, right? Because she's going to be waiting. So, and they even said, she even says on Ziggy's, like, she would go over there if she needs to be, like if they didn't have a ride to drop off the kids. She says that. So then at 5:29, they let her know, hey, the kids aren't coming. Mom is up with them. When she says mom is never up with them. Okay, so 5:29, they get rid of the babysitter, right? 6 a.m., he leaves. It's said that he goes to work. I haven't seen no proof of where he works, the distance from where they live to work, the route, any of that. Has law enforcement confirmed his alibi that he did go to work? Was he late? What does he do for a living? All of those questions we still have. Law enforcement hasn't said anything. And I kind of wish a reporter would have asked that, like, oh, the last person that seen him was the boyfriend at 6 a.m. when he went to work. Have you verified, he went to work that day? Just a simple question. That hasn't been asked that I've seen. So to me, 6 a.m. is he's saying that he's going to work. If something happened, I think Quentin was then moved at this time. He then returns, and to make it seem like he's looking for Quentin, he is seen driving really slow down the street at 8:20. Again, making it seem like he is looking for him. Now, 9 a.m., then you text the babysitter, again, covering. Have you seen him? Why would the babysitter see him when you canceled it? You know what I mean? Kind of making you wonder, was that being kind of like a startup of this setup? Maybe they were going to try to blame the babysitter. We know grandma did accuse the babysitter recently of that. Did she take Quentin? And you got to think, who put that thought in her head? I'm thinking the mom did. Now she arrives there, and they don't want her to help search. They don't want to allow her in the home. Why not? Your 20-month-old is missing, and the mom is just sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette. and no 911 call had even been placed. She had to tell them. I don't know. I think all of this, when you look at the timeline of it all, I think something happened at night. And this just shows it just was all covered up with each time. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think. Yep. And Bushi, you're right. And Quinton's, as Leilani's saying, that Quentin went with the bio dad. He picked him up. Why would she tell Grandpa that? Why? I can't believe that. I think so too. And that's why I said yesterday, Scott, the last real sighting, even though law enforcement is saying the last sighting of him would have been at 6 a.m., you're getting that information from the boyfriend, which to me, I'm sorry, is just not credible for me. The last real sighting of him alive, in my opinion, is when babysitter dropped him off. That's the last real sighting of him. And that would have been on the 4th, somewhere between 4:30 and 5 p.m. when she hands him off to the mom. He's crying. That's the last real sighting of him. We haven't heard, Grandma talk to him that evening, or Grandma FaceTime and seen him, Grandpa, any of that. Also, the uncle that's in the home, what's his story? Did he see Quentin in the home that night? That would be something else we can know about. Did he place eyes on him that evening at all? What was Uncle doing while he was there? Grandpa says Uncle was there the day that Quentin would go missing. So did he see Quentin that day after he got dropped off? MB, do you have the exact address? I've only seen that. I haven't got the actual address. Have you gotten it? And I agree with you. Most of us would have been extremely panicked. Think about that. You wake up, you see your door open, your child cannot open a door. I would think also, oh my God, he either got out or someone took him. You know what I mean? And I would immediately went outside. I know we never know how we're going to react in these cases, but I immediately would have went outside. And I would have been screaming like a mad woman, that's for sure. You would have seen me like a chicken without a head going everywhere. I don't know what I would be doing, but I'd be screaming my lungs out. How come no one has said that? Yeah. Did the uncle see him that evening? Was he okay? Was he sleeping the whole time? Like, what's the story with that? Vicky says, I thought Mom woke up at 9 and noticed him missing. So why was BF looking for him at 8:30? Exactly. The whole story doesn't make sense when you talk about it out loud. Mom wakes up at 9. Babysitter gets a text at 9 already. Boyfriend was already home. Why are you home? I thought you went to work at 6 a.m. Why are you back there? If she just woke up, how are you home? Literally, how are you home and she's up and the babysitter all get a text all at the same time? It doesn't work that way. It's all, in my opinion, a lie. Missy, that's something that we can look at. Definitely. Okay, I'll check my email after. MB, thank you. Valerie says she would have been going crazy if her animals had gotten out. Okay, let me read you guys the incident report for what happened on the 7th. Oh my God, you guys, he is so cute. I can't. And again, we know that's the mom. This is the boyfriend. Okay, let me show you this photo. Okay, so remember for the pool area, you guys, so this kind of little gate thing goes in the back. And I guess it keeps the kids in here. There is it looks like a sliding door. I think I have a picture of the back. Hold on. Okay, so this is a screenshot from Zillow, because you got the property on there. So this is what the backyard would look like. Let me zoom in. So you guys can see the little hand right here. This is where they have that little baby gate, so they can't get any further. It's right here from the photo, right here. See, from right here. See the gate? So that's where that would be in this photo here. But you guys can see there is, this looks like a door right here. That's a big pool too. And someone had asked about the stairs. So it has, you can't remove, it doesn't look like you can remove the stairs. So if they don't have the pool covered, then, you know, the baby can just literally, if he got out, walk straight into the pool area, because there is a door here, it looks like, and where the baby gate is, it's on this area here. Yeah. So Missy, she says the sitter said her kids had seen the boys playing in ditch unsupervised before. Another neighbor came out early on saying that she's seen Quentin before outside by himself. So it's very clear that these kids are not being supervised by the mom. A 4-year-old should never be outside by themselves. And oh my God, a 20-month-old should not be outside by themselves. But you have multiple people saying they've seen these children by themselves outside. Shalbao says that her son at 2 at the time slipped past me while I was cleaning, and I ran outside screaming for him. Thankfully, neighbors stopped him and were bringing him home. He couldn't open doors prior to that incident. Yeah, I mean, isn't that the scariest thing when you realize your kid can now open a door? Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, everyone let me know earlier. I'm going to look into it after this live stream. Yeah, and ATS did bring a good point up about the screens in the window. Did he fall out and hurt himself? We don't know. I hope not, Bushi. I hope not. Well, I was thinking, because, you know, we've seen other cases when a parent has done something to their child, they will put them in a pool after to make it seem like if they drown. So when they were draining the pool, I was thinking, oh my God, are they going to find him in there? Kind of like, even though I know divers had already searched it, are they going to then find him in there? And because he was placed there after the fact or moved back in there. But then I thought, why would you bring him back to the home if you already removed him? So that didn't make sense to me. Now, I just want to show you guys some proof of the 820 that she's seen him driving. So someone had asked her. So this is Michelle, we know is the babysitter. This is from Facebook. And someone had asked, what time did you see Danny driving really slow down the street? And then she says around 8:20. So again, she's saying the day he went missing, she's seen Danny's car driving slowly down the street at 8:20. Why are you back there at 8:20? I thought you left to work. And why are you driving slowly? You know, mom is asleep at this time. It just really makes you wonder and question their whole time of the story. So again, this is the picture I want to show you guys right here. It's a better close-up. This is the gate, the baby gate, I call it. But from the picture, there is a door he could have easily gotten out of. Again, they say he can't open any doors. Oh, you can see the kids right here. I didn't even notice. You can see Quinton and his brother playing. Yes, she does. Yes. There are court documents. She does. She has the brother, and then he's 4, and then baby Q. She don't have custody of the baby, the 4-month-old. I did see that, Nicole. So, and I was looking at his mom. I think it's his mom's Facebook. I think I have a photo of that. Is it right here? Let me see. This one is, I understand Danny actually here now. Oh yeah. So this is the one I seen. So it says, And I understand Danny's actually here now. We live in Atlanta. He's in touch with investigators and will continue to be. Still no idea what the devil could have been up to, but glad he's clear of her talking. They're calling the devil, and that would be the referring to, again, Quentin's mom, his girlfriend, Leilani. They're saying, I'm glad he's clear of her. And then they say, where is the baby? Where is his baby daughter? And this person says CPS took her and the other kids. They're with Leilani's aunt in Savannah at a disclosed location, and his parents are trying to gain full custody of the daughter. So again, this is something that was just put out through social media. So if you believe it, take it with a grain of salt. But they're stating that he's out in Atlanta and that he's still in touch with investigators. I have no comment for that because when law enforcement was asked that, he had no comment when the chief was. And then, of course, the baby, she's only 4 months. They're saying CPS took her and the other kids. They're with Leilani's aunt in Savannah. And he says that his parents, so the boyfriend Danny's parents, they're trying to gain full custody of his daughter. Wow. Makes you wonder if that is true. Holy shit. Why are they trying to get full custody of his daughter? And this is just an older photo of Grandma and Grandpa with the 2 boys. They do have a lot of photos. Grandma has a lot of photos of them together. Of course, this is Leilani, the mom, on Quentin's birthday. You guys, don't laugh at me. I thought this was a real cat on the bottom. I was like, holy shit, when I glanced. I'm thinking the same thing, Nicole. Why didn't he get daughter if he is innocent? Why are his parents, if it is true, take it with a grain of salt, if it is true, why is the parents trying to get full custody of her? Do they know something that we don't know? That was really interesting to me, if that is in fact true. Malmac, don't laugh at me. I glanced and I thought it was a cat. I was like, oh my God, she's stepping on a cat. Oh, he looks not too happy with all that cake in his face. So cute. Oh my God, you guys, this photo is one of my favorites now. That is beautiful right there. That would be up on the wall. That should be up on the wall right there, that photo. And then Grandma and Grandpa. There are a lot of photos of them together. A lot of them together. And then, of course, Grandma and her daughter. So Billy Joe. And then this is Leilani. Again, 9:42. But okay, see, a lot of reporters are saying police told us they were called at 9:42 a.m. So the 911 call is coming in at 9:42. I'm going with that. But I do want to show you guys. Let me see if I have it here somewhere. Give me a second. Sorry. Sorry if you hear all the clickety clacketing. Where is it? Let's see. Didn't share it. Okay, hold on. I do want to read you guys the incident report for when they got into the argument and law enforcement had to, in fact, go to the home. So let me just send that to myself. And again, thank you guys for being here with me, the ones that have stuck here through all of this. I know everyone got the news about Jalissa. So thank you guys for the ones that stood with me. I do appreciate you guys so much. Let me get that real quick. And if you have not, while I'm getting this, if you can hit the like button for me, it does help the algorithm, and that just gets this case pushed out for more eyes can see it. At the end of the day, we just got to make sure we are spreading awareness. I do see mainstream media are really starting to pick this up, which is a good thing. I did watch a video that News Nation put up yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I was really disappointed with it. Their information and times were so incorrect. Everybody in the comments were like, your times are wrong. Okay. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay. So let me read this to you. It might be a little blurry. Let me zoom in a little bit, as much as possible. Okay. So this will be for the incident that happened on September 7th. So on Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, at approximately 16:07 hours, I responded to a call for a domestic dispute, and it gives the address. Now, upon my arrival, I made contact with the complainant, identified as Leilani Simon. Now, Leilani, she said her and her mother had an altercation regarding some clothes that were in the wash. Now, Leilani said that she removed her clothes so that her mother could use the washer. Leilani said that they had a disagreement verbally about how things were, and she said her mother got in her face and shoved her. Now, Leilani said she hit a wall and felt that her elbow was red from the wall. Now, Leilani said her two kids were around and said she called to put a stop to the issue between her and her mom, and she said she did not want her kids around that. So again, this incident that happened September 7th, it was over, it seems like, a load of laundry, but I think it stems from a lot of frustration going on in this house. Now, Leilani is the one who placed the 911 call. She said that her mother got in her face, she shoved her, and that when she shoved her, she hit her elbow against the wall. And she also said that the two kids were witnessing it. So 2 kids is going to be the 4-year-old and, of course, Quentin. Now, Leilani's elbow was red. However, there was no sign of bruising. I made contact with the mother, identified as Billy Howe. Miss Howe said she was having issues with her daughter, as she said she wanted to use her washer and it was in use. Miss Howe said she was frustrated as she takes care of the household and pays all of the bills. Miss Howe said her daughter lives there, 2 kids, the daughter's boyfriend. Miss Howe said she got in an argument with her daughter, Leilani, and said after her daughter screamed at the top of her lungs in her face, she then shoved her. So grandma's intake of it all is definitely, you can tell grandma is really frustrated, because who's going to really argue over the washer being in use? That sounds like it's stemming from a bunch of built up of frustration to me. But she says that, her daughter gets in her face, screaming in her face from the top of her lungs. So grandma pushes her out of the way. Now, Leilani said she was on probation and did not want the conflict to escalate, and said that that's why she had called pretty much law enforcement. Now, Leilani said she did not want her mother to face charges. Leilani was advised she can go to the courthouse and attempt to get warrants taken out if she wished. Leilani said she understood. So, basically she's saying she's on probation. No one knows why she's on probation, like I said earlier, but I am wondering if that has anything to do with why grandma, in fact, got custody of the 2 boys. But she's saying she didn't want to press any charges with her mom or anything like that. Now, Miss Howe, grandma again, her son came to pick her up to remove her from the situation. Miss Howe agreed to separate from the situation for some time to avoid conflict. Miss Howe said she may have to evict them. Miss Howe's son advised that his mother was tired, as he said the daughter, Leilani, has a history of stealing from the mother and buying drugs with that money, and says the problem goes back very far. Now, Miss Howe left the scene with her son for at least a few days. Now, this is where I was confused, because this seems like the son don't live there, in my opinion, based how it's worded. But grandpa says that the day that he would go missing, the uncle was there. So I'm wondering, maybe the son don't live there, but it just happens that, the day that, the evening of him going missing, he stood the night there, he was there. I don't know, but it does make me question now, does the brother actually live there? I don't know. So this was on the 7th. We know on the 8th, she goes and she files for the eviction on them. And that's why I told you, you can tell there's a lot of stress going on in this house. A lot. Yeah, I know. We talked about that. I think so too. Yeah. Leilani didn't show up for court for the child support hearing. You're right, but grandma was granted child support and it was set to start in November 1st. Yes, for the two boys. So definitely, there's just a lot of stress and stuff going on in that household. Um, and I can't help and wonder if poor little Quentin was getting the shorter end of the stick. You know what I mean? With if anything was taken out on him. Deb says she gets a weird vibe from grandma. So, what are your guys' thoughts of everything today that we went over? What are your guys' thoughts? I still think, especially reading this, I definitely think there's a lot of shit going on in that house. A lot of stress, a lot of fighting, and it's sad that the kids are all witnessing to it. Again, you got to think about grandma has custody of the boys for, oh, we're going to Summer Wells. for hold on, let me stop sharing that one. Let me do another one. There's a lot of frustration going on in that house, and I can't help and think if Quentin was getting the short end of it all. So September 7th, September 8th, and then we go to October 4th. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we can all agree that this case has a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags. And I keep thinking when he got dropped off, I keep thinking that something ended up happening to him that evening. And I think everything we see from the timeline is just cover up. It's all a cover up, in my opinion, of course. Hey, Shannon. Okay. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up right now. Like I said earlier, this won't be too long. I do got to go take my daughter car shopping today, but I definitely wanted to come on here and go over the timeline of it all and kind of just go over the newest updates with the case. So I think we covered all of that. Upside Down says one shove in anger could have killed that child, even accidentally. Sounds like they all a mess and to blame over the people like this. Yeah. It seems, that definitely in some way, I hate saying this, but I feel like everyone in this child's life has let him down one way or another, and that's just heartbreaking to see. I know, MB, me too. I do think, they have 40 FBI agents out there. I do think this case, I hope and I pray it does. I hope it doesn't go cold. Like I said in the beginning, that's one of my biggest fear with this one. And I think I'm kind of being like that because of Summer Wells. I never thought that with Summer Wells, but with this one, I'm like, please don't. We can't have another Summer Wells case on us. We can't. We need answers. And I think that's why I get so invested with the babies that go missing, because a lot of times we don't get an answer with it. Yeah, I think so too. I hate saying that, but I do. I really do think that. That was yesterday, though, wasn't it, MB? I know yesterday they were doing that. Are they announcing that today? Let me go to Twitter real quick before I let you guys go. Hold on. I know yesterday they searched that area. Let me see. Oh, my daughter's making potatoes. I can smell it. It smells like potatoes in here. Let me see. Let me go to the latest. No. Hold on. And again, since the uncle, I want to look more into the uncle that was there that evening. Why is he being so quiet? Why? Let me go to latest. Why don't we know anything? Did he see Quentin that evening? How was he? Or did he see him sleeping the whole time? Like, what time did he get there? I want to know more about what he has to say. because he would be another set of eyes that can confirm a timeline for us at least, and for law enforcement, I think. Did the babysitter do another interview? Let me see. Hold on, I'm looking at. Basically, the second property is around the corner. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to look at my email, MB, and see what you sent me. Yeah, so from November 1st, let me see if I show you guys this real quick so you know what I'm looking at. And then I promise I'll let you guys go. I always do that. I'll say I'm going to let you guys go, and then I end up seeing something, and I'm like, oh, whoa, I got to show you guys this real quick. Hold on. So for the child support, it looks like November 1st, she would have been charged $150 a month for Quentin and his younger brother. So that was starting November 1st. She's going to have to start paying child support. And you think about it, she's fighting with her mom and everything. There's a lot of tension. Oh, that's just going to go over the other ones. See, look at 529. So at 529, she gets a text saying the kids are not coming, that Leilani is with them. What is strange? Yes, even when she's off, I had them, but I said okay. Isn't that interesting? The one day that the mom allegedly is up with them being a mom with them is the day that he goes missing. Right, Vicky? Seriously. All right, you guys. So let me just put this number up really quick, and the tip line number for Quentin. Remember his face. Keep his face out there, you guys. Keep sharing his face, his flyers, his story. We will not let his story go cold. We're going to continue sharing. Oh, I can't with this one. They're so precious. How many of you guys as a parent, when your kids would drive you nuts, but when they're sleeping, they just look so like, you're like, oh, I love you. They're just so cute. He's such a cutie pie. And somebody knows something definitely here. And I think look close to the home and you're going to know who knows. And this was just the babysitter responding. She dropped him off about 4:30. He didn't want, so she says she's responding. So she says, absolutely agree. My heart is heartbreaking. The last time I held him was Tuesday at 4:30. He didn't want to go home. He grabbed my face and kissed me. I told him I would see him in the morning. If I would have just kept him with me, this wouldn't have happened. Me and my family love Monkey very much. So he did not want to go home that day. And I guess I will wrap it up with leaving this on the screen, you guys. So again, continue, was the mother working? So it is said that she was working. We don't know where though, but she wasn't working that day. But babysitter says though she has her all the time, even when she's home, when she's at work. We don't know what she does upside down for a job. That has never been said. I actually messaged the babysitter just to find that out. What does she do and what does the boyfriend do? I thought if anybody would know, it'd be her. So if anyone sees her during an interview or live stream, maybe that would be a question we can ask her. I know, I love watching them sleep. They're so cute. And we always take pictures of them like a creeper. All right, you guys, thank you guys for being here with me and continuing talking this case. We're going to continue talking about it. And I just want to thank everyone again for being here with me. And I know talking missing kids can be a little hard on us. So I do want to just thank you guys for being here. But I just feel like they need our attention. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys on the next live stream. And you guys already know what I always say. Keep grinding, stay blessed, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.